What's up everybody? I'm here today with my 2025 KTM 300 XCW. And this bike took some damage at Silver King's Hard Enduro. While most of that damage has since been repaired, I do have a small tear in the seat cover from that race. Now while a small tear might not seem like that big of a deal, it does bother me cosmetically, and a hole like that can allow water into the seat foam, which can rot the seat foam over time and will change its stiffness, which we don't want. So I'll be replacing this OEM seat cover with a brand new seat cover from Decal Works today. You can also see the shop has gotten a little refresh. My old Decal Works bike mat had been abused for years and was starting to fade, so we got a brand new one as well as a fresh rug. The shop's looking good and I'm excited to get to work on this seat cover. Let's do it. So Decal Works offers custom seat covers, some in pre-configured colorways, which are a little bit cheaper, but here are the options. The side logo is optional on each seat cover, and you have the choice to go with a ribbed cover. You can also add accents to those ribs, or you can go with a seat cover with no ribs at all. There are of course benefits and drawbacks to each style when compared to one another. So we'll talk about that as I get to work replacing this seat cover. And Decal Works also has an online configurator where you can play with all of these different color options and customize your own seat cover. For this generation KTM seat, you simply remove the one bolt at the front, pull up at the front, and slide forward. On the underside of the seat is a circlip that you will need some circlip pliers to remove. Tusk offers a good set at a reasonable price, and once removed, this entire piece slides out. Now, all of the staples need to be removed, and here's the method I have found works best. Take a flat blade screwdriver a little narrower than the staple, press it under the staple, and then twist to pop one side of the staple out. From there, they will pull out very easily with some pliers. For just about every bike I've done so far, I have ran a ribbed seat cover. Ribs help hold you in place and prevent unwanted sliding up or down the seat. For most fast and moto-style riding, I see ribs as an advantage that do indeed help me maintain my position on the bike. For hard enduro, on the other hand, I realized I prefer a seat cover with no ribs. The reason for this is in a hard enduro setting, I find myself consistently sliding up and down the seat intentionally to gain traction or bump up and over obstacles. For this setting, the ribs end up hindering me from sliding smoothly up and down the seat. So this is of course all personal preference, but it's what I found makes sense for me in the way I ride. So my XC bikes get ribbed seat covers, and my hard enduro bike here gets a seat cover with no ribs. Also note that the rib accents offered by Decal Works are not just aesthetic. They do provide a bigger bump in each rib than the standard ribs, so for even more grip I would add accents, and if you want something in between, then I would go with ribs with no accents. These are the staples I'm using. They can be slightly long at the front or back of a seat, which I will show you shortly, but they are perfect everywhere else. So you could consider a slightly shorter staple. This is just a cheap air stapler from Harbor Freight that has done dozens of seat covers over the years, and for this of course you will need an air compressor at around 60 psi. I pulled the new seat cover over from front to back, working to make sure it was centered. Decal Works does cut a convenient little slit in the middle, which helps with centering the cover. Once content with the placement, I put a few staples in the back, followed by a few in the front. From there, I flipped the seat back over to ensure the cover is centered, and then the process is to start at the sides and work backwards, and then from the middle forward, pulling the seat cover tight for each new staple to ensure there are no creases and the seat cover fits properly. I will note that even though I've done many covers, it is not uncommon for me to have to remove staples and fix some portions of the seat where I accidentally end up with it off-center or creased. Now, as I checked my work to make sure I was happy with the job I had done, I noticed, like I mentioned a minute ago, the staples in the rear of the seat were a little long for how thin this seat is in the back, and they wanted to poke through just a little bit. So that is something to be aware of when doing your own cover. Once I was happy with my work, I trimmed the excess of the seat cover away with an X-Acto blade. Do not do this step until you are 100% happy with your installation, as once you remove this material, it is very hard to fix and readjust the seat cover. Here is what the underside of that seat looks like all trimmed up, and now I can reinstall the spacer and plastic piece where the seat mounts. I simply poked through the hole in the bottom to cut a slit in the seat cover and then enlarged it to match that piece that needs to go through. I then installed that component, and to make it easier to reinstall the circlip, I took a pair of vice grips and gently clamped down. This allowed the circlip to reinstall easily, and voila, I've got an incredibly fresh seat for this KTM 300 that looks insanely good installed back on the bike. So that is how you install a new seat cover on the current... It's raining outside. Come on, Matt. Come on. Corgi scratching at the door, he's scared. You wanna be in the video? Sit down. Sit down, stay right there. So that is how you install a new seat cover on the current generation KTMs. That is model year 2023 and newer. Mac, you can't be shaking, bro. Not a lot different from your standard seat cover aside from that little circlip and plastic piece on the front. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope my explanation of why I run ribbed versus non-ribbed in different scenarios was helpful as well. Big thanks to the crew over at DecalWorks for this fresh seat cover on my KTM 300. Head over to DecalWorks for your plastics, graphics, seat cover, and bike mat needs. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you with the next one. Is it raining? Are you scared of the rain? It's okay. You look very good. You stay right there. We're gonna get a photo.